Overthinking.
If
very
you could
simple.
accept anything about yourself.
The judgment coming do hold you
Are
back.
you familiar with the concept of an
I
inner
looked
child?
into it and
Hey, if you could
realized
just
we
snap
thought-
I know we're going deep here, man. Welcome to the second episode of Street Coaching, where we proactively go up to young men currently in the streets of New York and help them connect to who they really are and embody that confidence and certainty to be themselves and to go after what they want. Today, we are in the one, the only, the beautiful Central Park. Let's go, Street Coach. So, I prepped some questions. I like to think that they are very good questions. How old are you, Brad?
21.
21. Michael. Your name's Jacob?
Jacob, yeah.
Nice to meet you. Let's do it, man. My first question for you. If you had full self-confidence and belief and certainty in yourself and what you wanted to do, would your day look any different than it does now?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'd probably feel more comfortable going a lot of places. Maybe I avoid sometimes because of like that thing. Especially, I've just come here from London like a couple of weeks ago. So it's that thing of like new city on my own. I guess you kind of start over again with your confidence, trying to find new places and new people, things like that.
Student or?
Yeah, I'm studying jazz music over here.
Okay, cool. So your day would look different though?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. How so?
I'd wouldn't avoid certain places, I suppose. Or not necessarily avoid, but I'd feel comfortable going anywhere and maybe talking to new people or just approach. You've just done now, right? Approaching someone new rather than, put the headphones on, walk down, sit on your own over here or whatever.
Yeah. So actually a little spiel about both of us, Nico and myself. We have both had times in our lives where we've actually consciously decided to not wear headphones around places so that we seem more approachable to people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I really resonate with what you're saying. But all right, I want to move on to the next question. I have so many questions I want to ask, dude. First of all, I love your energy, by the way. You really are a very open spirit. I can feel it. So. Yeah. When you feel you're most social and approachable or proactively approaching other people, I know it may seem a simple question, but there's a reason I'm asking you this. Do you feel more certain and also pursuing what you want professionally or personally?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 100%.
If you had to describe it as 2 times more certain, 10 times more certain, 25 times more certain, complete certainty, what would you say?
I don't know if I'd put a number on it as much as it's those little feelings that do hold you back, they disappear, right? When you're in your most confident space, everything seems to flow a lot more smoothly, right?
How often do you think you're in your flow completely?
Maybe not that much here so far, but back in London, a lot of the times, once you've made a friend group and things like that, especially in a music world, when I'm around, other people I know or whatever.
Who are you around those people versus who are you when you're, say, by yourself and not in your element, so to speak?
I guess I'm more just openly me, right? Not ashamed to be the person that I am rather than hiding behind maybe trying to be too serious or take myself too seriously or whatever, things like that.
Let's actually go off of that. When you're being yourself and you're not ashamed to be yourself, it feels good, you're in the flow,
yeah.
You just feel at one with life, right? And when you're not, what are some of those voices, those mental patterns, those thoughts that come up in your head that are holding you back?
So I guess I struggle a lot with, I've got a bit of a baby face, right? So I've always struggled a little bit with that. So some self-confidence coming from that. I guess it's just how I physically appear to some people. I think maybe there's this thing in my head, a lot of being underestimated before I even, go into a conversation or whatever, or feeling out of place and trying to work on not feeling like that going into situations, really trying to be feel like people aren't judging you before, right? You can just have an open conversation like this without feeling like that.
Do you honestly think people are thinking about your baby face when you talk to them? You probably do. I'm not gonna.
Realistically, when you think about it, no.
So I want to go deeper now. So people aren't thinking about your baby face. You, from your own words, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Why are you? What is it? What is the purpose this mental pattern is bringing you? Is it keeping you safe?
Yeah, it's a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
It totally, I guess.
But you're keeping it for a reason. Is there some part of you that feels afraid when you're before you're in your element, so to speak, which is actually just an illusion, because the truth is you're always connected to who you are. I know we're going deep here, man. The deeper truth is just you have this perception that you're separate from yourself and from life and the flow of life. It's just a mental pattern. But it's so much easier for me to say that than for me to be in your shoes and let go of that. So I guess the question I have for you is, can you see yourself existing peacefully, confidently, socially, certainly outside of this mental pattern of insecurity?
100%. That's partly why I'm here. I'm here for music and to study and things like that, but I'm here for, I guess, to try and tackle all these things. And it's almost a fresh start, so to speak, of being in a new place and trying to kind of kick all those bad habits, all those negative thoughts, and try and affirm some things positively, wake up in the morning and try and view the day differently, I suppose, right?
So many questions I want to ask you, man. What is a mental pattern? It could be that one you just described, but if you want to get specific, you can. If you want to keep it general, or you can. Or you could list more than one. That if you could just snap your fingers and completely erase from your existence, you forgot you ever had it, you forget, like it's never ever gonna happen again. What would it be? Or what would they be? Are you familiar with the concept of an inner child?
No.
Okay, so basically your inner child is your childhood self who has been unhurt from the world, who has not learned insecurities yet, not really learned the falsehood that they're not perfect.
Right.
So it's like the pure, curious, loving, outgoing, expressive version of you. Of course, it's different for everybody. When you think about it, something that helps me is I think about every thought I'm believing, not necessarily have, because you can have thoughts, intrusive thoughts, etc., that you don't believe and that you just let flow through you. But every thought I believe, I'm showing little Michael, hey man, believe this. And so that gives me motivation to not believe those self-inflicting insecure thoughts. I'm far from perfect with it. Like so far from perfect. My ego wishes I could tell you I was. I'm not. So with you, if you could let go of one or two of those thoughts or mental patterns for little Jacob, what would those ones be? Which ones would you want to free him up the most?
Like approaching any situation, like, you know, like even just like ordering a coffee or whatever, just smiling and going into it and being like, maybe in my head I go into those situations without even thinking about I'm interacting with another person, right? It's like, oh, do the task or kind of get in and get out and get that done, rather than thinking about, okay, how can I have a conversation with this person and, you know, make them feel at ease as well as me, right? I mean, yeah, like maybe even the way you approached me coming over here, I don't know how I reacted, but maybe just opening up that with a smile and like, how are you, right? Rather than you know.
I have so many things on what you said, but I want to focus on you. You can see yourself outside of these insecurities, and I know you've only addressed like a few, which is great. Let's say you go to be the social person, which most of the time you already are. But the times where you feel reserved or you feel those thoughts in your head, what are they telling you? Are they being like, oh, who are you to be social? Or like, oh, don't be so weird. Like, what are those thoughts actually like? If you can describe it word for word, if you have some of them fresh.
I guess it's probably just other people's voices a lot of the time, like the judgment coming from other people and then me like projecting that's how they're feeling, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Or like you come out of a situation and afterwards you're like, oh, they must have thought this or I acted weirdly. Like overthinking very simple things.
What are some of those actual thoughts? If you need some help with it, I can tell you some of mine.
Like what people might be thinking.
Yeah, like for example, when I used to hang out with some of my friends, I remember when I would leave and I would be like, damn, they must have thought I was being so selfish talking about myself so much.
Right, okay.
Like, what are some of those for you? Whether it's before or after, like I just said to you, or during.
I guess maybe like complaining too much about certain things sometimes.
You complaining?
Like
okay,
you.
no, go ahead.
But like maybe, yeah, I felt like that was maybe a thing back in London a little bit. I could come across as a bit negative, which is something I've totally tried to kick because, again, I'm trying to see the world a bit differently. And again, that negativity stemmed from when I looked into it and realized it was my own feelings about myself and then projecting them onto other people, right? So that sort of thing. But yeah, I guess voice is about like, it's often so much about appearance. It's just so much about the way people perceive me, I think. I've always felt like I know what's going on in my head in terms of I feel my age in my head, but by not looking at it and maybe not presenting myself like that, it can often change the way people perceive me.
So the hard part about this is to discern what is like real for you versus just an expectation that doesn't help you.
Yeah.
So for example, you may want to dress better. And so there's a part of you that knows like you're not dressing as good as you could be, which is, and that may be wrong, it may be right. It's just an example. And then there's a part of you that's like, oh, I wish I didn't have a baby face. Another example. That may be just like a learned insecurity. And so that's not necessarily true. It's just a non-self-acceptance thing. Once again, back to the concept of an inner child. If you could accept anything about yourself and show little Jacob like he's perfect, which as you know he is, would it be the physical insecurities?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a quote I hate and I love, and you'll see why. It's, I'm not who I think I am or who I know I am. I am who I think you think I am. Which is like, as you said, you've been using this word many times, projections. Yeah, right. And so like the common thing is the baby face stuff. The truth is, and actually I don't want to tell you the truth, I want to ask you. I already have pretty much, but can you know with full 100% unquestionable, undoubtable certainty that anyone is even thinking about not even your baby face, but your appearance at all?
No.
No. Okay. Of course. So can you know with 100% certainty that there is something wrong with your appearance? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. If you know that, and you know you can choose differently, just with your appearance, what would you like to choose?
Just to be happy being me, right? Like to feel like that I don't need to change things about it.
But so that's a negative opposite. What would be the positive thing? Like, I feel completely comfortable in who I am, or
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
have you felt completely comfortable in who you are before? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Many times, probably.
Yeah.
Just off and on, so and so.
Yeah. Certain situations with certain people in a relationship or whatever like that, right?
Okay. What were the feelings you felt in that? Comfortable, certain, free, flowing?
All of those, yeah.
I have a little task for you, man.
Go on.
So, you know that you have successfully been completely at peace with your appearance before, right?
Yeah.
When I was younger, I went to college or university, and I used to walk down the streets. This was actually around like 2020 times. And I would think everyone was looking at my lips. I used to be so insecure about how big my, like, see, you have, right? You have no idea. Like, until I told you that, you weren't even, let me actually, did you think about my lips for a single second there? No. Okay, right? You had no idea.
Yeah.
And so I used to think that every single stranger that passed me by was basically being like, oh, look at how big his lips are. They're so ugly. He's so ugly. Don't talk to me about, like, yeah, crazy. Number one, it took me a while to even be aware that those were like thoughts going through my mind. And then number two, to like actually learn how to let go of them. Go back to the moments where you learn that insecurity. Be with that version of you that learned that insecurity. Help him understand by feeling through it if it was real or not, and then let it go. And so that's my advice to you. And the very, very last thing I want to ask you is, if you could go back right now to that younger version of you, you'll have memories, you may not be aware of them now, but eventually they'll come. What is a piece of advice or lesson or just general help you would extend to that younger version of you?
Don't be afraid of putting yourself in uncomfortable situations or doing those things that you are scared to do because of like your brain holding you back. Just push yourself into them.
I want to challenge you. When I was, you said you're 21? Actually, when I was your age, I challenged myself to go approach two strangers every day until I was not scared of it anymore. It took me, I think, like 11 days, and I took notes on the meeting, so I was attentive and I learned about them rather than being in my head about it. So I forced myself, even though I wanted to listen, to like completely listen, to not think about my insecurities while I was doing it. So if you want to take me up on that challenge, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to give it a go.
Did I see great things for you, man? I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. I want to tell you one last thing, which is I can read energy. I hope this does not scare you. You have two spirit guides behind you, and your inner child is right here in front of you. Like, they're all dancing very happy. I see great things for you in music, and also your aura is very purple and blue. So whatever that means to you, man, been a great example. I really appreciate your openness.
I appreciate you taking the time to talk.
Hey man, this is the end of the second episode of Street Coaching. If you resonated with this, come join us along the journey and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go deeper, I'm offering a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you, where I'm opening 5 one-on-one private coaching spots for 12 weeks. So if you feel the tinkles, the tingles, the jingles, the jinkles within your being calling you to awaken and to experience this life of true self-confidence, you can book a call with me in the description of this video, and we can see and feel how our energies align, my friend. I appreciate you. I love you. Keep going and continue to have an amazing rest of your day, my friend. Being unexpected. Peace.